out your neck saying you a Christian, a Muslim sleeping with a Jinn.
Hello, my YouTube family. It's been 3 weeks and I did miss you guys. I missed you so much. Listen, I want to talk about something before we go straight into today's video. I want to talk about something, okay? And that is that this YouTube thing for me, of course I don't get paid for YouTube. I come to YouTube to share and connect with the readers of my books. I want to inspire, encourage. I want to talk about personal development, and I want to talk about the stuff that's in my books. I want to contribute something worth leaving a legacy behind, so to speak, having a trail of the things that I've accomplished, and that's why these videos are here. And I know that I was away for 3 weeks. So, and I know we lost 6 subscribers during that time, because here on YouTube, people want you to produce. They want you to pump out. And if you're not pumping fast enough, they're going on to the next person, okay? But I want to share something with you, okay? I live my life in a state of mayat, and mayat is in our culture, means in a state of balance, okay? Whenever restoration is necessary, we have to do that. And so there are going to be some times where I'm not going to be posting here on YouTube. Or I may not post at all. Here's why. It's because reciprocity is necessary in my life and the way culturally how I'm connected. I'm going to go where the energy flows. Okay? That means that when I pour out, there's something pouring back in. I pour out, I'm pouring in. So that I'm not pouring all of my energy into a cup that has a hole at the bottom. Okay? That is meaning that if I am here on YouTube sharing or spending time editing and getting videos and getting prepared and getting the information ready, if I'm doing that and I'm preparing that for you guys, okay, understand that I'm doing that from the greatness of my heart. But there's also boundaries around that, meaning that if in fact the information is it's not being received, meaning I have ghost watchers. And ghost watchers are those people who watch your videos, but they don't comment, they don't share. They like the content, they're curious, they stick around, okay? Because of the way I live my life, I have to know that you are there. I don't want to be talking to ghosts. I want to talk to real life human beings, real women, real men with real thoughts, real anticipations. I want to know what it is that you feel from this video, if you feel anything. I want to know that you're on the opposite side of me talking. So I'm not just some crazy woman talking to a camera. I want to know that what I'm doing is making an impact on this channel. And the only way I'm going to know that I'm making some sort of impact is that if my ghosts take off their white sheets and allow themselves to be human. Talk to me. I talk back. Talk to me. I talk back. Make a comment, like, share. If you shared the video in the past, let me know that you shared it so that I know you're there, so that these videos can keep coming to you, so that I know that I am planting seed in valuable soil, if that makes any sense, okay? I want to know you're there. I want to know that you are alive and that you're with me and that we're on this journey together. I don't want to be on this journey on YouTube by myself. I want to be on this journey with some folks who are ready to ride. And if you're riding on this channel, make a comment right below so I know that you're there. Anyway, this video today is called Aphrodisiac Temptress Relax. The reason why I named it Temptress Relax is because I was watching something about how a woman is supposed to be able to seduce a man to prove that she can keep him on all this stuff. And there's all these things out there that I think are quite idiotic in some sense, and they're just really strange in another, that it's actually polarizing to some extent, because what's being talked about when it comes to femininity, sensuality, womanhood, what's being talked about is very surface level stuff, and it's worrisome because it dehumanizes women. when we say that modern women don't know how to ... Okay? The first problem that I have is with the term modern women, as if women should be isolated from the rest of the pack, and that being men, because we just can't get it right. Because our education, her money, her job, they're less likely to want to be considered quote unquote traditional. But here's what we're going to learn here before I even get on with this video, okay? Number one thing is, we're all modern, darling. Surprise. If you push a button in your car to start your car, and you're a man, you're a modern man. If you didn't get your mail from Pony Express, you're a modern man. If your milk was not delivered this morning by the milkman, you are a modern man. If in fact you're using a microwave, if you're a woman who turns on the AC throughout the whole house because it's central, you're a modern woman. Modern men and modern women are living side by side. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. The whole idea of modern women ... I don't know who came up with this idea, but both men and women are living side by side in a modern world. Most of us have Fitbits and iPads and iPhones. We can connect in an instant. You're watching me here on YouTube. 30 years ago was YouTube here. This is an option. This is modern day world. You men now have a voice in this modern day world here on YouTube. You women now have a voice in this modern day world here on YouTube. We are both living side by side in a modern way, in a modern world here in the US. Men, you are modern here in the U.S. If you had not have to take a dowry to your wife's parents, you didn't have to take them 5 cows in order to take their wife in marriage. There's some places on this other side of the planet that are still doing that. My brothers and sisters in Nigeria are still doing that. My brothers and sisters in India are still doing that. In order to get their daughter, you have to come bearing gifts. There's a price. You don't pay a bride price here in the U.S. Isn't that a good thing that you don't have to pay a bride price? Because that part of life and living is long gone in some parts of the world. But in others, it's still very much alive. There's certain things that you don't have to do as a man because we are living in a modern day world. Men are not going out to lay down the railroad. Laying down railroad. Mining oil. Of course, my brothers and sisters in West Virginia are still mining, okay? But majority of men are not mining. They're not doing physical labor. You have my forklift operators, my machine operators, my pick pack people, still doing manual labor. But most of the work that we're all doing today does not require us to really get down and dirty like 20, 30, 40 years ago. So yes, putting your food in the microwave on 2 minutes makes you modern, okay? And yes, you don't have to walk 14 miles to the nearest place to get food because yours is across the street. Or you can get in your car and go right across. You don't have to do a horse and buggy. We're both modern. So I wanted to say that before I start this video because I said temptress, relax, aphrodisiacs. I want everybody to relax. Chill out. How about we get the conversation going on how both modern men and modern women can connect? That should be the message, or that should be the story we're all talking about. Instead, where we are isolating a group of people, in this case being women, as the problem. Women are now the problem. When, if you ask me, I believe there's a disconnect between both men and women. And the only way to solve that is to understand that the disconnect is both on men and women. And no, you can't blame a whole entire sex of people for a problem that, of course, is impacting both sexes. So let's talk about that, probably in another video. I just had to say that before we start on today's video. We are talking about women femininity and how it shows up differently, depending upon where you are and what stage of your life. Yes, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. You guys have heard me talk about that a million times. That's a particular stage in a woman's life. Okay, men have their own stages. We'll talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about that. Where we all have a stage in our lives, and depending upon where we are in that stage, and also depending upon whether or not we've been exposed to things that is going to refine us, help us develop as women, we're going to be able to express femininity differently. Now, femininity will show up in women differently depending upon where they are. Okay, and some women will lead with one part of an expression of femininity, something that they learned. They will lead their lives with that one part, not understanding that there are several different layers of femininity that can be expressed at any one time. So I'm going to show you here today how I have 3 beautiful women here in this particular video that express femininity differently. The first person that I'm going to show you is a master, is an absolute master. If you want to learn about femininity, you must watch every video that you can come across. Every time she sings, you want to watch it. You want to watch this woman because not only is she a legend, an icon, a gift to the world, this woman is a master connector. That's what I mean when I'm talking about femininity. Connecting. Women connecting. Allowing yourself to connect. This woman, her name is Whitney Houston, and you have never seen another woman connect like her. Go ahead and watch this video. You and I will be back to chat.
About you, besides your voice and how you look, is that you really, I like that. You like bouncy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. The great thing about you, besides your voice and how you look, is that you really, I like that. You like bouncy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. In other words, you wanted to bounce some more during this song?
She is a master connector. Whitney Houston is a master connector. And I think my arrows might have went a little too fast, so let me slow it down for you, okay? In this particular clip, Whitney, of course, is her younger self, right? And I think a couple of the clips that I have of her today in this video is her younger self, okay? Because I want to explain how a woman goes through these phases. And you guys know I talk about this all the time, is that we have the maiden, the mother, and the crone, and how we go through all those periods and how we express femininity differently depending upon the phase we're in. In this particular clip, when she connects with Tony on this couch, you'll notice that she looks at him when he's talking to her. She completely turns her body and she's looking at him. She's looking at him in the eye, the same thing that Lori Harvey did to Jay-Z. She completely turned her attention to him, to hear him, to let him know that she was attentive. And she has him locked with the eyes, and she's there with him for that moment. They're both traveling at that very moment. They're traveling through that energetic exchange. And not only did she connect with him by turning her body, connecting the eyes, and showing him that she's listening. She's hearing what he says, okay? The second thing that she does as a master feminine connector, the next thing that she does is that she engages in a touch. A friendly touch, okay? She engages in a touch to let him know, I heard you. I heard you. I heard you. She touched his leg. Now, if you don't know, if no one's ever taught you this, in femininity, you'll learn this in my books. The power of touch for a woman is extremely important. Now, I know all this Me Too stuff that you got going on, men might have trouble with it, okay? And even women might have trouble with it too. But understand that the way these guys are engaged, she already got the pass that it was okay for her to touch, okay? And I'll tell you how she got the pass later. You can probably see it in this video that she got the pass. But that's also a communication style, knowing how far you can go. And at this minute, when she touched his leg, she connected with him on another level. First, the turning to him, one level. The looking at him, another level. The touching his leg, another level. And the master part of this, of all, is the fact that she mimicked him. She mimicked his behavior. I watched this video about 35 times, you guys. And I'm telling you, I get so excited when I watch this video. I'm like, Whitney Houston was not just an amazing vocalist. She was an amazing feminine woman. Oh my goodness. When she sung, the words were feminine. When she talked to people, she was feminine. And when she engaged with men doing interviews, she was all woman. Okay, all woman. She is a master communicator with her body. She is communicating, letting you know that she's engaged and she's there. And that is a superpower. I'm going to show you a flip side of femininity because that's what these videos are supposed to do, right? I'm going to show you how it is in the real world. And it's nothing like that stuff that you see out there, you know, that wear this $500 bottle of perfume, act this fake voice, and etc. This is real feminine connection. This is real stuff. So let me go ahead and play this video and you and I will come back to chat. Go ahead, run that.
You kind of, Aretha Franklin, you grew up with. How did they influence you?
I think just by being around them and listening to the music, I love the way that they made people feel about what they were singing. So I think if I wanted to become a singer, that's the way I want to make people feel also.
Darling, you just witnessed a master at work. You see that? At work. You just witnessed a master at work. Her eyebrows, I put a little arrow to draw your attention to when she's talking. Okay, when she's talking, her eyebrows are moving. Okay, that means she is aware that she is talking to someone and she's present. When you are seeing someone respond and you don't see the facial expressions, you don't see the eye moving, you don't see the, you don't see that moving outside of Botox, okay? When you don't see that, then the person is normally disconnected from what they're saying. In this case, this master is connected to what she is saying. And not only is she connected to it, she believes it and she means it. The truth is always in the expression around the eyes, okay? The expression around the eyes will always tell the truth. Not only is she a master of connecting with people, she does that because she's not afraid to feel. Did you hear what she said in this particular piece? The lady asked her, you have Dionne Warwick, you have your mom, you have all these people, Aretha Franklin, all these people around you. You know, what did you learn from being around them? And she said that she realized that the way they made people feel, that's what she wanted to do with her music. That is feminine, you guys. That is extremely feminine. She wants to nurture you through her music. You can't get any more feminine than that. She wants to nurture you through song. She wants you to feel something when she sings. But she also wants you to feel something when she's talking to you. She's not afraid to feel. And I said that on one of my videos. I said, do not be afraid to feel, right? But then also understand what it is that you're feeling. So, I want you guys to understand that the reason why I call Whitney Houston the master of like this thing that we call femininity is because she's completely aware. This particular video, she's only 21. She's only 21 and she had it locked down. She knew how to be sincere in her eyes, in her words, how to feel what she's saying so that she can connect with the other person. That is femininity, my dear. That is femininity. That is not something you buy in a shop, okay? She probably picked those up. She picked those behaviors up because of the kind of women she was around. And she was in church and she's around Dionne Warwick and she's around all these people who had a certain elegance about themselves, right? And then, of course, she had a certain set of behavior standards that was necessary for her to follow because her mother was also in music. But she witnessed women feeling. And she knew that there was some power in how a person who feels can evoke feelings in someone else. That is mastery. That is mastery. And I can go on and on with the amount of videos that I have of her showing and proving that this woman is a lesson to other women. Okay? Now, you can never be Whitney because I already said this is one and done, right? But you can learn from her style of interviewing, her style of talking. Even when she's upset, she's still connected. Even when she's angry, she's still connected. She is a master connector, and that is a woman who is seated in her femininity. She is on the throne, and she's okay with it. She's completely okay being a woman. She's completely okay being Whitney. She's humble. She's soft. She's so humble and so soft and so sincere. You want to reach out and grab her. That's how feminine she is. She's so feminine, you want to be invited into her world. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. This whole idea that femininity is one way, it's not. We're all going to express our own version of it differently. And so much so, it's time for me to play this next person for you. This woman is a powerhouse. She needs no introduction. Here she goes.
Alors, ça ne fait rien, vous savez? Parce que si vous pouvez pas en anglais ou français, italien, quelque chose comme Hebrew o Swahili o una cosa como yo, no a mí es completamente nada. ¿Tú lo sabes? ¿De dónde es usted? ¿Usted es de dónde? Chicago. No wonder you can't speak anything. But I'm only teasing. I'm on my way to Chicago. Are you going to be there? Ay, Dios mío, chico, ¿por qué no puede hablar en español tampoco? ¿Qué les hace aquí en Nueva York? A Swedish boy. Ok, está bien, tú sabes, porque si usted puede hablar una lengua como yo, no a mí es completamente nada, tú lo sabes eso. Solamente con el checkbook te puede encontrar en el dressing room después aquí, ¿no? Wow, c'est bon. Wow, c'est bon. C'est petite sensation. No credit cards, please. But you get what I mean, don't you? Voilà, c'était
Di parti un poco, baresu, something shines on. And the woman is amazing. Thinking about how she grew up, what she'd been through, not knowing her father, not being accepted by her family, she still was able to create this persona of the temptress, the seductress, those are all feminine, characteristics. And this is what I'm saying when I'm trying to teach women that femininity is not just one way. It can be expressed in the various of ways. And Eartha Kitt just nailed it. She showed you the difference between femininity as it relates to the young Whitney Houston, okay? That soft connectedness, the connectedness. She was soft enough to invite you in, whereas in Eartha's position, she was in control, and she was the person who was drawing you in by way of connecting to you differently. Now, connected is connected. This is what I'm trying to teach, is that both the interviewer in this case was connected to Whitney, and this gentleman was also connected to Eartha. But can you see the difference in how they were able to express their femininity? Eartha, on the other hand, was the temptress, okay? She was able to tempt you into wanting to be involved. She did it so well that even the guy who was sitting next to this gentleman, who was getting this, this personal interaction with Eartha, you could tell for a moment when he looked over at his friend, he was like, I am witnessing greatness here, okay? That's what I need you guys to understand, is that femininity can show up in a very, I don't want to say polarizing way, because on one end, the woman can be subdued, okay, and soft and shy or coy or those things. But then on the other end of that spectrum, she can be strong, but in her skin, and inviting you in, but still very feminine. Does that make sense? I'm hoping that you guys are getting what I'm putting down. Okay, c'est bon. Yeah, so I hope you guys got that. Now we're going to get into this last person here, because I know I said I was going to do 4, but this video is already long. We'll come back to the 4th one when I'm doing the Lori Harvey video that I'm working on. One of my subscribers asked for an update for Lori Harvey. That video is coming up next. So we'll add that 4th person into the Lori Harvey video. But the whole general purpose of this video is to understand that you can relax. Temptress, you can relax. Seductress, you can relax. The soft-spoken person, you can relax, because at some point in your life, whether or not you're dating or whether or not you're closing business deals, you're going to understand that there's a part of your femininity that you have to make active. And you're going to have to understand that regardless of what part is active at any one given time, you're no less a woman. Here's our next person. Take a look at this. Come back. You and I will chat. Aishwarya Rai, India's beauty. She has these subtle gestures that are amazing. Watch this laugh. See that eye? It clinked a little bit, right? And then she does this when she laughs and smiles. That tongue right there. It's the subtle things that make you beautiful. It's going to show up differently for every woman depending upon the stage of life she's in. And it also can show up differently for a woman depending upon where she's at spiritually, where she's at emotionally, whether or not there's some things that's going on in her life that might be prohibiting her from being able to access certain parts of her feminine energy. Okay? Understand that the feminine energy will ebb and flow. Just like most things, just like life. Life ebbs and flow. And all we can do is find a way to get into the wave and just ride it, okay? That's what life and living is about. It's the same thing with women. Women are human beings, guys, okay? This whole thought about femininity and how to be more feminine and all of that, understand that femininity is not, it's being assigned to these blanket terms for people who are just trying to teach you etiquette or class or charisma or how to be approachable, those kind of things, right? Femininity is expressing all of those things. And the way femininity shows up in one woman might show up differently in another. And you know why? It's because we belong to Homo sapiens, yes? Surprisingly enough, women are human. Yes, surprisingly enough, we are individuals, okay? Now, as you are learning to walk into your own, okay, and take your sacred seat as a woman, to take your seat as a woman, when you are learning how to do that, and all these things that you are learning along the way to refine yourself, okay, understand that those things are okay to add to your repertoire, okay? It's okay to add it. Find yourself and add all of the goodness that you need to add to refine yourself. Okay? But today we learned that femininity can show up differently depending on where we are in our lives. Maiden, mother, or the crone. Okay? And the way I look at it, it only gets better, darling. It only gets better.